Thanksgiving, Emily Gilmore, season 4, episode 9. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with what I watched in September. I watched a shit ton of things in September. I'm not even kidding. I watched like almost a movie a day. So let's just get into this, and my reviews are going to be quite a bit shorter than usual just to keep this video a little bit more sweet, short, concise, to the point, as I just ramble on. As far as TV goes, I've really not been watching a lot. I've been rewatching Bob's Burgers and then Halloween episodes, which I watch every single year of different things, but mainly just reality TV. New season of Amazing Race just started last week. Same with Survivor. Love is Blind, which this season, guys. And Big Brother, obviously. That's it. Like, not really a lot. So let's just get into the movies. The first one that I watched is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I gave 4.5 stars. I honestly absolutely loved this movie. I love Marvel. I'm a big Marvel girl. I'm not at all like a DC person, but I especially love Marvel that does something different. I love Marvel, like, I loved Eternals. I love Shang-Chi. Like, I love anything that just isn't the typical, like, oh, here's Iron Man and Captain America. Like, but who else? You know what I mean? Who else? So I loved it. I don't know. I think the acting was phenomenal as always. The action was super, super sick. And I love the storyline. Then Girk, my husband, made me watch Gladiator, which I did like. I gave this 4 stars. Do I think that it deserved the 5 Academy Awards that it won that year? No. But it was good. I did enjoy it. I'm glad to be able to say that I've seen it. It is such a classic. So many references. Are you kidding? Like, are you bitches not insane? But overall, is it super memorable to me? No. Is it a classic in my mind? No. Is it one that I'm gonna want to rewatch? Probably not. But it was good. I am really excited because Ridley Scott is actually making next year, I believe it's coming out, a movie all about Napoleon, and Joaquin Phoenix is actually cast as Napoleon. So I'm super excited to see that, see them team up again and do something together. And I think that that movie is going to be fantastic. So I do have really high hopes for that one, but this one, I don't know. Then I am still doing, I've kind of been slacking off a little bit, but I am still doing my Disney watch thing. Like, I'm trying to watch every single animated movie and short maybe from Disney, including Pixar, but I am doing them separate. So I'm doing Disney, but then I'm watching Pixar separately at the same time. So the next one for Pixar was Brave. I give this 3 stars. It's not a bad movie, but I get why it's relatively under the radar. It just doesn't have that magical Pixar element to it. You know, it doesn't feel like a Pixar movie, but I think it's a lot of fun. I do really like it. I still think the story was so entertaining. I enjoyed it, but it definitely just, I don't know, there's something about it. It just wasn't, it didn't have that feel, you know what I mean? Then after that, I had Monsters University, which I gave 4 stars. I love that they gave us a prequel to Monsters Inc. and I think it was so fun to show how they become scarers and all that. I just think that's so iconic, but it wasn't Monsters Inc. still. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. Like, that's a hard movie to live up to. It was a good time, but it also was just like, okay, I've seen it. Cool. Moving on. I did think all of the college references and stuff were just so funny though. Like, having to struggle through finals and rushing and all of that. It was super cheeky and fun. I definitely think they were making it for the kids who grew up watching Monsters Inc. because they would have been, when did this come out? 2013? They would have been like about in college or about done by that time. So I think it was definitely for them. And I did like that. There was a lot of adult humor in there, which obviously I always love in kids movies. So I did appreciate that. Then at the same time with my Disney watch, I finally got to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which I had seen before, obviously. I had actually seen all of these before except Brave. So I had watched Monsters Inc. or Monsters University when it first came out. I've obviously seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but watching it again in the chronological order of like release with Disney, after watching all those shorts and finally getting to a full-length feature, it just hit so different. Snow White's never been my favorite princess. I'm really not excited about this live action they're doing with the actors they chose. But regardless, Snow White's never been my favorite. The movie's never been my favorite either. Like, even as a kid, I wasn't really that big of a fan. But I did give this 4 stars because although the story is kind of to me to begin with, like just a little bit boring, definitely from its time, I still just feel like there was something so magical about it after watching all those shorts and all that build up and literally watching every single thing that Walt Disney had come out with from 1923 all the way to this. There was just like, I had a newfound appreciation for the animations, what went into it, where it came from. Like, I just appreciated it through that lens so much more. So definitely a 4 star. I think had I just watched it again without everything before, it probably would have been like a 3, but I just had like a newfound appreciation for it. It's such a classic. revolutionized animation, and I just really, really enjoyed it. Then I watched Autumn in New York, which I gave 1.5 stars. What the fuck is this movie? On Letterboxd, I said 1 star for Winona Ryder, as always, and then 1/2 star for the vibes, because there were some really good autumn and Christmas, New York City type of vibes, and that's it. The movie was absolutely terrible. The plot, like, what the fuck was that? Like, who wrote this? Like, it was just so pointless and weird and bad. Like, what? I feel like the relationship was super creepy and borderline, like, emotionally abusive, and were we supposed to be rooting for them? Like, that's what I don't get. Were we supposed to be rooting for them? I feel although you were supposed to be wanting them to stay together and do all these things and be rooting for them the whole time, any sane person is gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, no. Then I watched Annihilation, which is based off the book Annihilation, which I have not read and honestly probably don't intend to, but I didn't even know that that was based off of this. I just turned it on. I was literally just having a cozy game day. I was playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. The girls who get it, get it. And I threw this on to watch at the same time, and it was so captivating and so beautiful and so confusing all at the same time. I give this 4.5 stars. It was absolutely stunning. It's entertaining as fuck, but it's also just rich and deep, and it's sci-fi in like a really weird, fucked up way, and it's just, I loved this. This was so good. Then I watched Clueless for the first time ever, which I gave 3 stars. I get it, but like I don't at the same time. And that was the most clueless review you'll ever get. It was good, but do I get why it's as iconic as it is? Honestly, not really. I don't know, maybe I just don't get it. But it was entertaining. I gave it 3 stars. Like, it's not bad by any means. I'm not bashing it. It's just, I don't get why people say it's like so iconic. Then I watched Scream 3. I am in the middle of the Scream movies. I had seen the first one a million times, but this is my first time watching 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6. Still haven't watched 4. It's my goal in October to finish the franchise. So I did watch 3 in September. It was good. I gave it 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. I liked it a lot more than 2. I did not like 2. This one was, you know, funny at times, cheeky at times, super, super camp. Like, I just meta as fuck too. I just loved this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what the 4th one's about. I feel like the 4th one people seem to say is the worst one, but we'll just have to see. Then I rewatched Hocus Pocus because duh. I really wanted to watch the 2nd one, which I also did watch. I'll talk about in a second, but I wanted to watch the first one again first. I gave it 4 stars. It's been a couple years since I've watched it. I rewatched it a lot as like a kid and a teen, but I haven't rewatched it in a really long time, honestly. And rewatching it as like a adult, like my brain's fully formed now, has been for quite a while. It's crazy how many times they brought up this kid being a virgin. Disney nowadays is scared to even like do anything, and back then they were like, yo, this fucking virgin. I don't know, I thought it was hilarious. So that made it more entertaining because I was like, that's crazy to me. And then I did actually watch the 2nd one right after that. I loved the 2nd one. A lot of people seem to really not like it. I honestly loved it. I gave it 4 stars. My Letterboxd review says I get that they're like trying to suck the souls out of children and whatnot, but honestly I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them 100%. Like, I love the witches. I don't know. The kids, eh. Little did I know that when I went to go log it on Letterboxd, I found out they're actually also making a 3rd one. They might be pushing it, but the 2nd one I thought was really good. I was really worried about it because normally when they remake stuff or make sequels to things, actually either sequels or remakes, especially decades later, they tend to not be very good, but this was actually really fun. I still had a super good time with this. Then I finally got around to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I gave 4 stars. I am not really, and just hold on now. I'm not really a Quentin Tarantino fan. I really like Death Proof, and there's one other one of his that I really like, and besides that, everything else that I have watched from him is just so weird and unnecessary to me. Like, the violence and the N-word and the feet. Quentin, get help. But I did really enjoy this one. This is actually probably the one that I've liked the most from him over the last like 15 years. I had no idea going into it that this was about Sharon Tate, and I have had a massive fascination with Sharon Tate since I was a kid, because when I was like 8, I picked up my dad's Helter Skelter book and started reading that shit. If you wondered why I am the way I am, babes, that's it. And I have just always had kind of like a soft spot for her ever since. So when I saw that this movie was about that, and especially that Margot Robbie was playing her, it instantly just captivated me in a way that I think the average person might not be captivated by. Like, other people would probably like it for a lot of other reasons than that, is my point. But that's what captivated me. I was instantly really intrigued by what was going on. Really surprised to like it as much as I did. Still too many feet pics. Still too long in my opinion, but I did actually really like this one. Then I started watching the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which I had already seen the first and second movie, but I rewatched them and now I'm on the third movie in October. So I did rewatch The Curse of the Black Pearl, which I gave 4 stars. Obviously, this is such a classic movie. I really, really love it. Nobody could have played Jack Sparrow the way that Johnny Depp does. And then I also watched the second movie in September, as I said, so Dead Man's Chest, and I gave that one 4.5 stars. I really, really like Dead Man's Chest. This month, I'm on, obviously, At World's End, which I've never seen before, and the other 2 that a lot of people say you shouldn't even count, but I'm gonna watch and finish the franchise, so we'll see how I like it. Then I watched Fargo, which I had never seen before, but I was in the mood for kind of something of that vein. It was on a lot of lists that I'm trying to get through on Letterboxd, so I was like, you know what, I'll just throw it on. It is so highly acclaimed, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. There were a lot of funny parts, and I enjoyed kind of like the murder mystery elements, or like the, I guess it's not a murder mystery, but like just like the anticipation and suspense of it all, but it was also just very boring to me. I don't really understand the hype with it, I guess. I can see why a lot of people like it. It just wasn't for me. Then I watched The Book Thief because I finished the Book Thief book in September, and I instantly was like so torn up that I just wanted to still be with the characters, so I put on the movie, and I hated the movie. I still gave it 3.5 stars. It still was obviously impactful, but they fucked up as far as an adaptation goes. Like, if you've read the book, just don't even watch the movie because you'll just get pissed off. It wasn't a good adaptation at all. If you have never read the book and you watch the movie, you'll probably like it more than people who have read the book because they just fucked the book up, honestly. So I did not like that at all, but it was still decent. Like, I still gave it 3.5 stars. It just wasn't what I wanted, needed, or I felt like they didn't respect the book at all, which sucked. Then the last thing that I watched in September was No One Will Save You, which I gave 3 stars. I was really in the mood for like horror, like rated R horror, like a proper scare, and I didn't realize putting this on that this was a PG-13 movie, so it was a little bit safer than I would have liked to watch in the moment, but it was still really, really, really good. It was a little like convoluted, very like messy at times, and confusing in like not like a cool confusing way. Like, it wasn't like an Interstellar type of confusing. It was like a, I don't fucking get it, and I don't really care enough to like try to figure it out kind of confusing. But I did love, like, this is truly just like an OG kind of alien movie. Like, I'm talking the aliens look like E.T. They got flying saucers up in that bitch. Like, it's OG Alien, which I did really respect and like seeing. It was fun, it was a good time, but again, it just wasn't like super memorable for me, but I did really like it, and I appreciated the fact that they went like old school style. I thought that was cool. Straight up fun camp alien movie, and I liked it. So that's everything that I watched in September. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you've watched any of these things, what your thoughts are, or just what your favorite thing that you watched in September was, so I can get some good recommendations. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!